Okay, we're trying for a second time with my new microphone in my helmet. Yesterday I went for a ride thinking it was working and I forgot to turn it on. So maybe it's turned on this time and you can hear what I have to say as I travel. Just pulling out of my apartment here in Ben Tre, Vietnam. This neighborhood is in a newer section of town. Over here we have a new market finishing up, opening soon. Be nice and convenient. Let's see. It is now lunchtime, so we have a little bit of traffic. See people coming down the wrong side of the road. Here we go. This is nowhere near as crowded as driving in Saigon. What is it, about 11:45 noon? So a lot of people have come out to go to lunch. Here you have to be always on the alert. People coming out of these side streets, turning left in your lane. They drive down the wrong side of the street until they find their way over to get into the right lane. This is a circle, which are always kind of fun. Got a little more sun today, but about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice when you have the cloud cover. It doesn't get so hot. The sun gets very hot. But today I think the high will be 86. Humidity is probably around 70 is my guess. Usually rains most every afternoon during the rainy season, which is what we're still in. And it may appear that I'm driving too fast, but 55 kilometers is probably, what, 30 miles an hour? I'm only doing probably 30 miles an hour. Not even that. Most of the scooters drive slower, so that's why I appear to be speeding, because I'm passing them up. I think the lens, the angle on the lens makes it look like I'm driving faster than I am. So I'll ride out to My Tho, driving through Ben Tre, which is where I live. This is the hometown of Tweet. In the Mekong Delta area, about 2 hours south of Saigon. Known as the capital, coconut capital of Vietnam. Their coconuts are very famous here. They export all over the world. They're small and very sweet, tasty. So this area is a lot of coconuts, a lot of different fruit, farmland. It's where all the rivers from up north, Thailand, Cambodia, all flow down into this delta, into the sea. So very rich soil, lots of water. Circles are very common. I'm not sure who gets the right of way. Big trucks usually get the right of way. This time I got ahead of it. So I'm on a Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. The model, and I bought this a few months ago with the intention of driving longer distances, taking more tours throughout the country. It's too big for getting around town. Oh, we got a yellow light here, just turned red. If you go through one of these intersections and the light turns red, there's cameras that will take pictures and send you huge fines, like, you know, several $100s for motorcycles and even more for car. So you really got to be careful getting through these lights. Other than that, I never see police. I never see them pulling over speeders or anyone breaking the rules. But they do set up traffic stops and will get you for not wearing a helmet, not being licensed perhaps, I'm not sure, for drunk drivers. But I never see police just, you know, cruising around looking for people to pull over. That doesn't happen here. So for that reason, you have all kinds of crazy drivers driving every which way on the road, on the sidewalk, different directions, tailgating, speeding, cutting you off. It's a different style of driving. It's like a flock of birds, or walking through a mall with a crowd, you know, everybody just sort of goes every direction and allows people to come in and out without getting upset and angry. And everything just tends to flow. But if you don't follow the style, you're in for a lot of frustration and anger, which I think I've been through. Now I'm a little more adjusted. So I'm doing about 75 kilometers right now. That's probably 40 miles an hour, somewhere in there. There's one river. On the bridge I'm coming up to, a big bridge across two big, wide rivers. Mekong River, one of them, maybe both of them. I'm not sure what what they're called. But this part of town is near Twee's family home. And she would commute every day, 6 days a week, rain or shine, storm or not, over this bridge in her scooter to get to work. Once I get there, you'll see it's a long bridge, kind of narrow. Circle. Let's see, is this guy going to turn right? Yeah, you see he's over in the left lane, just made a right turn. Just cut right through. Of course, no complaints. I cannot complain. The cars that are driving here, see there's way more motorcycles, but gradually more and more people can afford cars. They actually drive very safe. Most of the cars that are on the road are people who had to go through some very rigorous training, driver training and testing to get a license. A lot of the motorcycles, they probably don't have license or don't have any training. The smaller motorcycles don't require license. Anyone can drive them. The scooters, I think above 150, 150, or maybe 100 cc's require a license. But the cars are very courteous. They drive very careful. They're always looking out for motorcycles. And so that much is a good thing. The big old trucks, bus drivers, buses, they drive like crazy because everybody gets out of their way and they're in a hurry. Time is money. So if I turn right at this intersection, that would take me to Twee's family home. Notice how people make these turns. They don't even look. They just come on and assume everybody's going to get out of their way, which is a little different than what I'm used to. Here's the bridge I was referring to, Mekong River. Looking out. See these motorcycles have a small lane that they usually stay in. And when it's storming, raining, windy, it gets dangerous riding this bridge. She was saying when that happens, the cars will usually slow down and drive right next to the motorcycle to help block the wind and the rain as they're trying to get over this bridge. They used to have to close the bridge in each direction and open up both lanes to get people over during the commute hour or weekends because it was so much traffic. So if you are on a motorcycle and they close the bridge, they'll keep your lane closed for about a half hour while they let the other side use both lanes to get over. So you're sitting in the hot sun on a motorcycle waiting for them to open the bridge. I don't think they have to do that anymore. But Twee used to cross this bridge every day to get to work. About a half-hour drive one way. Now I'm in the city of My Tho. Let's see, I think I can turn here. Yeah. We'll make a U-turn. And head back over the bridge. When you're driving, whenever you change lanes or move over in a lane, you have to go very slow, because you never know when someone's coming up behind you at a high rate of speed, and if you move over too fast, you'll run right into them. So you'll notice people move kind of slow whenever they're changing lanes or passing. You have to go slow, because they don't look behind them. They never look back. They just slowly move over and expect whoever's coming up to move for them. So just the opposite of what you're used to in the West. Of course, they carry all these things on their motorcycle. You never know when something's going to fall off. But you got to do what you got to do. Motorcycles are affordable. Most people in Vietnam cannot afford a car. So you get your family on a motorcycle, 4 or 5 of you at a time. If you buy something, carry it on your motorcycle. If your job requires transporting stuff, you'll see these things loaded up and piled up high with all kinds of different things. Just the other day, I saw one motorcycle with a load of coconuts and boxes and who knows what. They fell over, and it was on film, but I had my camera set up to loop, so it rode over. I'm not sure what caused the accident, but by the time I passed them, they were on the ground and people were running over to help them. Okay, got over the bridge.